know Doctor Who? And if you don't, then you can go.
Right, hello guys, watching Go.2, and today we're going to be talking about how I became a Doctor Who fan. 15 years ago today on the channel, I became a Doctor Who fan. Now, basically, I know this because we found a DVD, my original DVD, that my granddad recorded and put a date on, and it was my very first Doctor Who episode. Now, seeing that, I realised it's been 15 years that I've been a Doctor Who fan. So yeah, I thought, why not? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about my origin. Let's get onto it. So, I was about 6 years old, wandering around in my granddad's house, and he was like, could you do me a favour? I'm busy at the moment. Could you let me know when there's adverts, or anything like that for the Doctor Who episode? So tell me when it finishes and tell me when it starts. And I would have to run to my granddad and go, it's finished, there's titles, or stuff like that. And he would pause it, because he recorded stuff on his DVDs. He made his own DVDs, and not to sell, just to have for himself. And he did that brilliantly, and he made covers for his DVDs and stuff like that. And yeah. So then he made a few for me. Sadly, I lost the ones he made for me, but I'm glad I only just got this last year. He sadly passed away in 2018, and I'm glad that my nan gave me these DVDs that he made, and it's my origin DVD. So I really hold this to exact, because the thing that got me, the thing that I remember the most, is the Cybermen coming towards the two Mickeys in a parallel universe with Rose's dad, Rose, the 10th Doctor, and Jake, is it? The one with spiky hair? And we have all Cybermen coming around them and going, you will be deleted. And you have the TARDIS little thing, the Doctor goes like that and destroys them all, and they all get into the car. Then we have the Cybermen upgradations and stuff going on, blah blah blah. I'm not reviewing the episode, but I'm just going to remember bits that really caught my eye. And the John Loomis Cybermen grabbing up the staircase, and then the Doctor doing the Sonic, well, Rose's dad doing the Sonic, and the Cybermen going no, and yeah, the Parallel Earth was certainly a good story for me personally. How I got into the show, I never heard of it before. I was like, Doctor Who? Why is it called Doctor Who? And Grandad was like, trust me, you'll like it. You will love it. I know what you'll like. And I did. I absolutely bloody loved it. And it's all down to my granddad, for him, why he got me into this show, because of that episode. I don't think any other Doctor could have got me into it. I don't think my favourite Doctor is Peter Capaldi, but I don't think he could have got me into it. Jodie Whittaker couldn't. The classics definitely wouldn't, because I weren't a fan of anything that didn't look good in my eyes. Classic do look good for what they stand for now, as I can appreciate them now I'm older, but certainly back then I wouldn't step near a classic when I was little, so they certainly wouldn't. We watched the 10th Doctor, and then I got into it, and I progressed into the end of series 2 and rewatched the ones I missed, and then rewatched series 1, and I thought, oh, it's a different actor. And I thought maybe the 10th Doctor might come on set, join the team, take the name of the Doctor and shake the Chris Eccleston's hands, the 9th Doctor, and the 9th Doctor would go off. Or maybe the 9th Doctor would die and the 10th Doctor takes the 9th Doctor's name, and that's how we see the TARDIS fly on. That's my mind. That was my logic. I can remember me thinking sort of thing like that. And then when he dying, I was like, ooh, maybe the Doctor's going to come on now and join the TARDIS team. And then I was like, no. He just blew up. He blew up, regenerated into a new face, and it blew my mind. It literally was like, what? And that was my first experience of regeneration. Obviously, I didn't see it live, because I rewatched. I was watching currently in Series 2, so I had to go back and rewatch Series 1 and see that. So I was like, so yeah, and then when we saw Captain Jack in Series 3, I knew who he was because I rewatched it from Series 1, but that Series 3 was my first time seeing Captain Jack live with the rest of the audience. And then we said goodbye to Rose, and I'd just seen 2 seasons worth of Rose, so I was upset for that. and I was like, Martha's not Rose, I'm not happy, blah blah blah, and then I learnt to love her, and then she's really brilliant now, and I just adore her. Donna was my favourite Doctor Who companion. I was like, yeah, Donna's good from the Christmas special, and I remember sitting next to my granddad going, the Doctor's gonna get married and stuff like that. And then series 4, I was watching bits with my granddad, and then by the end of series 4, the cliffhanger, the 10th Doctor regenerating, and then the cliffhanger, I remember watching it in the living room with my granddad's and going, oh, and then all the companions and talking about it with my friends and going, did you see the trailer? There's Captain Jack, there's Rose, there's Sarah Jane. And then I remember running home from school and watching the Sarah Jane Adventures every day at 5 o'clock, round about 5 o'clock, watching it on CBBC and watching it as a kid growing up with Sarah Jane Adventures. And then she passed away, and I didn't really experience death before like that, so I just thought, oh, she died in real life. I didn't had to experience it, I guess, and I knew they made new episodes, so she was still out a year later or so. They had respect to her and then did the final series with what they filmed for series 5 with only a couple episodes, and we watched that, and that was it, and I had respect to her for that. Certain situations I didn't live at home anymore and I needed Doctor Who the most, and we got the David Tennant specials to keep me going throughout that, and with that interplay, I needed Doctor Who more than ever. I wasn't at home anymore, I was in a completely different place, and I needed some familiarity, and that's certainly what Doctor Who gave me until David Tennant changed and left. And I remember watching that in a strange place where I was at, and then I was watching it, the finale, part 2, at a strange place on New Year's Day, and then Matt Smith began his 11th Doctor incarnation, and then suddenly I could cope with it being in a strange environment because I work with my family, and I had Doctor Who there, the 11th Doctor. I was like a bit judgy on him. I remember being like, oh, he doesn't look like a Doctor, oh, he can't replace David Tennant, but I ended up loving Matt Smith and the progression there. And then I moved into another strange scenario, and then I had Matt Smith's era, and I had Pete Capaldi's era, and Pete Capaldi is where I fully fall in love with the show again, like I did with David Tennant. I found sometimes it was a bit childish with Matt Smith's era, but I certainly loved it. I think Matt Smith's era is good in small doses, I find, and I really respect him, and he's high on my list, but some of the stories aren't the best from his era. But yeah, that was my origin. And then if we're going to complete the origin up to today's standards, we have basically me moving into my temporary living condition where I can I'm living on my own in a certain way, and then we had series 11 where I moved into my own place, and I was watching it, started the YouTube channel because of my granddad, because of David Tennant's first episode I watched with him because of that very day, and then I started my YouTube channel in 2018, and then only just got popular in 2020. So 2 years on, I've only just started getting known, you could say, and getting comfortable. I did make a YouTube channel in 2016 doing comic book reviews. I don't know where it's gone, that channel. It must have got deleted by YouTube because I haven't used it and lost the accounts. So I only did a few comic books with that anyway. So I was nervous and it was a bad video anyway. But certainly now where I am, I'm happy with my YouTube. And I progressed from 2018 moving into my own place. And then we have... by the end of series 11, when I watched my granddad's, me and my granddad watched I was finally home by 2018, and finally watched, what's it called? The one before The Woman Who Fell to Earth, the second episode. I watched that, and my granddad didn't like it, and I found it quite average and boring, and sadly that was the last episode he ever watched with me. And then from the finale, Roncalos or whatever, Series 11 finale, Episode 10, the very day that aired, my granddad passed away. He passed away in the morning. I went to stay with him and stuff like that. And with that into play, basically, I didn't do a video until a day after, and I couldn't watch the episode until a day after. I watched every episode live of Series 11 and gave reviews on it on the channel, but my review of the finale I couldn't do properly because I was distraught. My hero is my granddad, and he got me into the show, and yeah, it was tough to watch, and I thought, well, Doctor Who's always been there for me. It's always been there when I need it the most. Ran Carlos, please be a good episode. And I watched it, and it wasn't good, and it just put me in an even darker mood. And then we had a whole year without Doctor Who, and I was in a dark place, I would say. I still did the channel, I still put on a front, you could say, and if you watch from my videos, maybe you could tell. But then 2020 happened. I've just moved into my own place, properly on my own, living all on my own, paying bills and stuff like that. And watched Series 12 and then moved into my own place after that, and that's where you can see the background's completely different. I can put pictures on my walls because my other landlord was quite strict on nothing being on the walls. What else? Yeah, so then after that I made I tried to progress with the channel. My goal is 1K. That's my dream, that's my ambition with YouTube and where to go next. And I think YouTube helps me as a Doctor Who fan. If we're talking about origin of Doctor Who fan, yeah, it definitely helps me progress onwards with that. And yeah, that's the goal where I'm heading. That's where YouTube's helping me most when Doctor Who's not around. And Series 12 was certainly boosted me up with the feelings of the show. I was certainly in a darker place, and now I feel much more happier, much more motivated, and yeah. And I can certainly see it because I'm starting to get loads of subscribers on the channel because of this, and getting a bit more confident. Like, I could never just talk like this, you know. I suppose the way you deal with it is because if I don't like this video, I can delete it. That's the scenario you can think of. Be yourself, be comfortable, and keep filming this video until you feel comfortable. And now I don't have to do that. I used to have to delete it and do it again, delete it and do it again at the very start of my channel in 2018. But now I just record a video. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake, so what? And yeah, this is my I don't go off scripts. I occasionally do rankings and have a list there, so I don't mess up the ranking order and go, alright, at second place, at first place sort of scenario. But I never go off scripts, I just do whatever in my head. So this is it. So yeah, that's my origin of YouTube, you could say. My origin of me becoming a Doctor Who fan. Doctor Who's always been there, apart from the dark period from Series 11. And yeah, I used to grow up with watching Doctor Who up to Series 5, and then after that, everyone who I knew, all the cool kids were popular, we were talking about Doctor Who cards, we were trading and stuff like that. And then when after Matt Smith's first series, it went a bit Americanized, a bit childish, a bit with a possible astronaut. And when moving into secondary school, it was uncool to be a Doctor Who fan, and no one would talk about it, and you'd get ripped on if you talked about it. So I just didn't talk about it, and to anyone. And then 2013, 50th happened. Everyone was talking about Doctor Who again because David Tennant's back, and that was the main reason everyone came back to watch Doctor Who. And I watched it in the cinema with my granddad, and that was the best feeling ever, watching it in 3D. I'm never going to be able to have that experience again. They may put the cinema on in the 60th anniversary, but I'm never going to be able to watch that with my granddad again. I'm never going to have that same emotion, that kid emotion. Yeah. Yeah, it's such a good times remembering the Voyage of the Damned. My granddad, my nan and my mum laughing at the Queen going, "Thank you, Doctor," or so on. Yeah, it was good times. And my favourite for my granddad was the Ninth Doctor. That was his favourite Doctor. And I got to show him my autograph of the 10th Doctor, and I got to show him a picture of me and Peter Capaldi, the current Doctor at the time, and he was proud of me. He was like, keep this safe. And yeah, it's good, really good, Connell. Sadly, you will never know that I actually met all the Doctors apart from the woman Doctor now. I've even met his favourite Doctor, and you never know that. But yeah, there we go. That's my origin. That's my thoughts. I owe me as a Doctor Who fan. I may not even be a Doctor Who fan if it weren't for me watching the Age of Steel episode. I may not even be doing a YouTube channel if it weren't for this Doctor Who episode, and my life would be completely different if I weren't watching Doctor Who. Doctor Who takes over my life quite a lot, and God knows what I'd be doing. Probably watching football or something like that, you know, but fully invested. So yeah, there we go, guys. That's my origin. I owe it to my granddad. This video is credited to my granddad. He passed away in 2018, in December. So yeah, it's been 2 years almost. Well, almost more than that, 3 years. So yeah, and it's been 15 years since I became a Doctor Who fan. So yeah, credit to David Tennant, credit to Series 2, credit to Age of Steel, and credit to my granddad for me being here today. And thank you guys for watching. Don't comment, rate, subscribe what you thought of how you became a Doctor Who fan. And yeah, I'll see you guys for another video. Have a nice day.